Hello peasants of YouTube, welcome to another That's Just Joe video. My name's Joe and that's about it. So we've got even more DC news. God, the news just does not stop, which is quite exciting. Obviously in my last video I talked about how I think the DC Cinematic Universe is a bit of a mistake and everything, so you can go and watch that. Just go and visit my channel below, or to the left or to the right or to the top. Depends how YouTube are going to format in the future if you want to come back and watch this. Anyway, The Direct, which is one of my favourite websites, is reporting that Henry Cavill's Man of Steel 2, which it's being currently titled as, is reportedly coming sooner than expected. And basically it goes on to explain the reason why he's left The Witcher so suddenly, very quickly before the new season starts filming. Obviously Liam Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth's brother, is taking over the main role, and it goes on to quote John Campea. Now John Campea, I have a few reservations about because of past mistakes he's done. He's obviously apologised since then, but just some shady stuff he's done in the past, like leaking Spider-Man No Way Home pictures and, you know, watermarking them as his own. I'm not a fan anymore. I used to be a huge fan of his, but since then I've unsubscribed and stopped watching his podcast and everything. But this is kind of interesting, and the director is reporting it. So we'll just go on to see what Campea is asking. So why did they need to announce Liam Hemsworth now? So he makes a good point about that. Could have been announced in a few months, going into production real soon. And then Campea goes on to say, here where it makes me think a little something fishy. Why did they need to announce Liam Hemsworth now? A friend of mine texted me and said, you know, there was absolutely no need to announce Liam Hemsworth right now. You could have announced that in a few months, unless they're planning on going into production for season 4 very soon, like imminently soon. And if that's the case, you've got to announce Liam Hemsworth now. I don't think that's the case. I think it is the fact that they are going to film soon. And I'm not completely debunking this sort of suggestion Campea is making, that they're going into, you know, Man of Steel 2 quite quickly. But I think it is because they're filming The Witcher Season 4 very soon, because it is a very successful show on Netflix. And as we all know, Netflix is kind of on its knees at the moment. And it's probably going to be one of the first biggest streaming services. You know, it was the first biggest streaming service, and it's probably going to be the first one that goes eventually in the very far future. I think it's going to become the least popular streaming service very soon, as these companies continue making their own streaming services and getting the rights back to their films that Netflix have been borrowing. I think they want to quickly get The Witcher Season 4 going. So if production was starting up soon, the recast needed to happen, then that could indicate that Henry Cavill had big scheduling conflicts. Campea noted that he's heard that Warner Brothers is a lot closer to shooting new Superman. So Campea, as you probably know, he has a lot of insight into TV and film. You know, he has a lot of contacts, so I think he knows more than he's letting on. Obviously, he doesn't want to get people in trouble and everything, which I completely respect. But also, it is kind of just speculating. He elaborated that either The Witcher will be shooting season 4 real damn soon, or Warner Brothers could be going into production on a Superman movie by February or March next year. See, even though again speculation, I do think that is a possibility. I really think they want to get the Superman film off the ground, and I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, funnily enough, is the main catalyst for that. I think he's the one pushing for it the most. Because loads of people went to see Black Adam when it first released, because they knew Superman was going to somehow appear in it, because Dwayne just completely ruined the movie. Like, he tried to keep it a secret for so long, but it just wasn't happening. So basically it's John Campea kind of drip feeding this sort of supposed information, which I'm not fully like. I don't fully believe it, I think, but I do have some hope, just in terms of everything else that's going on, is that they are going to be in production of this film very, very soon. And as we've heard, David Zaslav has been meeting with loads of directors, very not up-and-coming directors, very, very well-established directors like Steven Spielberg and Christopher Nolan as well. If we get a Christopher Nolan Superman, I'm going to be absolutely shocked. I don't think he'll do it. I think Chris Nolan is done with Warner Brothers, to be honest, and they're just kind of reeling him back in. the thing is, if he does the Superman movie, then it's going to be very similar to the Dark Knight trilogy. I can guarantee it. I just don't think he's the right man for the job. Steven Spielberg, however, I would be interested, but I feel like Spielberg isn't the right choice. I do think they need someone up and coming, basically. I know there's a J.J. Abrams Superman film still in development, and it's potentially with Val Zod, and the writer of one of the most successful Black Panther comics involved. Sorry, the name completely slips the mind, but he was very successful, and I think he's written scripts for film and TV before. I mean, Henry Cavill coming back, a lot of people know my opinion of Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he's all right. I think he's okay. I just don't think he's the best actor. But I think, in all honesty, Superman is one of the hardest parts to play. At the end of the day, you know, you've got Clark Kent, Kal-El, and Superman. It's 3 parts. It's not like, you know, Batman. You know, you've got Bruce Wayne, Batman, and the Vigilante, sort of the real Bruce Wayne, split in 3. But that's been done so many times, and it's so grounded that you can do it, whereas this guy is an alien and you've really got to differentiate all 3 of these characters basically into one. So fair play on Cavill. I think he plays Superman really well. I just don't think he's a great Clark Kent, to be honest. It's not believable, unlike Christopher Reeve, who did a fantastic job of the 3 personalities of Kal-El. So what do you think? Are you excited for Man of Steel 2? I don't think it's going to be called Man of Tomorrow or whatever. I think this is a completely soft reboot of Superman, and I really, really hope it's good, because Superman needs a lot of help these days. It's a very old-fashioned hero. I know there's a lot of Superman fans out there, especially of Henry Cavill, but I just think it's time to kind of reboot the character, and that's why I was looking forward to the Val Zod version that J.J. Abrams is supposedly doing. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Please like the video, really appreciate it, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with the latest geeky news. Anyway, may the force be with you. It's the wrong film.